Building on the unmitigated success of the Ford Ranger Raptor, here in Malaysia comes a brand new variant. For those who may not be able to stomach the 3-litre V6, now there is a 2-litre Bi-Turbo Diesel, a very familiar mill with a very familiar look. So, is this all of the fun of the Raptor without the fuel bills and most importantly at a slightly more affordable price? Well, in this video, we'll find out. My name is AIMAN, ABDULLAH, this is Malaysian Motoring, this is our first look of the new Ford Ranger Raptor Diesel. Now, as far as the Ranger Raptor looks, it is all still very familiar. So you get full Ford LED performance headlights up front, repeat with adaptive beam, making these one of the most advanced headlights that you can get on a pickup truck. Currently, you get the bold Ford lettering across the front end. You get LED fog lights and you get a different set of bumpers here, repeat with a metal bash plate underneath, again to highlight the toughness of the Ranger Raptor. The same goes with the wheels. These are 17-inch alloy wheels, which are actually smaller than what you get on the wild track, but again, this is for off-road toughness, which is why they're wrapped in BF Goodrich all-terrain tires. Nice tough stuff for nice tough work. Behind that, you will find Fox shocks, among the most advanced shocks available on the market. Apparently, they can adjust their absorption rate 500 times a second, reading the surface of the road and adjusting itself to work best, again to ensure that you have maximum traction without compromising comfort and control when you're off-road. Down the side, as you can see, you have flared wheel arches, front and rear, replete with a little vent on the fender, again to outline the fact this is a tough truck. And the same goes for the side steps, which are done up in metal as part of a Ford performance pack, again to make this truck look tougher still. Now, one of the areas that the Raptor doesn't compromise on is in terms of cargo space, where in terms of room, you actually have the same amount of space as you get on any other Raptor. This is not a shorter or narrower bed than before, which means this is technically just as usable in terms of carrying items, although your overall payload capacity is slightly lower. That said, however, the tailgate does come with an easy open system, replete with these little hooks here, and you can close it with just one hand, something that is not easily done on other pickup trucks. You also get Raptor badging back here and full LED tail lights as you expect, plus a couple more tow hooks should you find yourself in a particularly sticky situation. And inside the Raptor, you get the same gorgeous interior that we've seen from the rest of the Ranger lineup, but again, it's been dressed up ever so slightly. The diesel Raptor's interior is exactly the same as we get from the petrol, for better or worse, which means you get these excellent leather sport seats, which are done up very beautifully and have pretty good side support if you ask me. It also means that you get this massive infotainment screen, which is absolutely excellent. It's fantastic to use, it's very responsive, and the graphics are very crisp indeed. Paired to that is a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster up ahead, which has fantastic graphics, great refresh rates, and I'm starting to sound like a tech YouTuber now, but that's the state of where we are. We also have an electronic gear selector down here, which makes it a lot easier for you to move between park and drive, but also it does this little party trick where if you put it in drive and you switch the truck off, it will move to park on its own. You also get the drive mode selector here, so this being the ultimate off-road pickup, you do have the ultimate off-road and on-road drive modes. You can choose between the various drive modes, be it 2 high, 4 high, 4 low, or 4 automatic. And of course, you can choose various drive modes such as comfort, sport, and even Baja mode, should you want to get the very best out of your pickup. Now, when you're not driving it like an absolute hoon out on the road, or off it for that matter, you can enjoy certain things like the truck's standard level 2 semi-autonomy, which includes adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, and so on. And you can also enjoy this truck's standard Bang & Olufsen audio system, which is among the very best that you'll find in any pickup truck on the market, making this perhaps one of the most easy and reasonable interiors to live with. And adding to that is what you get back here, because with this seat set up in my driving position, I have excellent amounts of knee room and headroom, and as you can see, I have great under-thigh support because the angle is just right, and I have lots of space to put my feet. Even the center passenger will have space for their feet should they need it. And you also get some USB ports, a 12-volt socket, a 3-pin socket, much better than 12-volt any day of the week, and a couple of aircon vents, again, making this perhaps one of the best on-road suited trucks. You of course get a center armrest, as you would expect from a truck like this, although for some reason in this truck it won't come down. And you also get a couple of ISOFIX mounts on either side should you need to put a child seat, although the door opening isn't quite as wide as you'd expect, so it may be a little bit of a struggle, but at least a rear-facing child seat won't have to bang into the seat in front because, like I said, there is plenty of room in here. Okay, so now we have a chance to sample the diesel Raptor. Now, we've actually driven the petrol motor already, and you can check out that video up here on the corner. But SDAC thought it wise to bring in the 2-litre bi-turbo diesel because this engine is better suited for our market. So this is the same diesel mill that we've seen in other Ranger models, and it provides an adequate amount of performance, 210 PS and 500 Newton meters of torque, which most importantly is actually not that less. The torque dip compared to the V6 is actually not as big as you'd expect. We're talking about less than 100 Newton meters here. And of course, because this diesel engine works so well with the 10-speed automatic, it does mean that you barely feel the difference because you're always in the torque band. And at slow speeds, as you've seen so far, it does move very smoothly. You do get very little in terms of vibration from the engine that comes through the steering wheel as well as through the base of the seat, which means that the Raptor diesel is pretty much as refined as you'd expect a vehicle like this to be. Now, given the fact that this truck comes as standard on all-terrain tires, obviously the gravel that we're driving on now is absolutely nothing. This is child's play for a truck like this. But as we're about to find out, one of the Raptor's strongest points is actually how it performs on road. Because one of the things that we've enjoyed most about the Raptor is the fact that when you are driving out on sealed surfaces, you will find that there is a degree of body control that you may not necessarily expect from a pickup truck. And going through some very light corners here, you can tell that the Fox shocks are doing their best to adjust themselves appropriately as to ensure that you have the adequate amount of body control without it seeming overly harsh. And now, as we find a little bit of mud on the roads, you will find that the truck's traction control remains playful, but it doesn't ever leave you feeling like you might be out of control, which is what you want from a truck like this. You want to be able to have a little fun. And when you want to, I've just discovered there are actually metal paddle shifters behind the steering wheel, which certainly feel very nice to hold. Now though, we get to the slightly trickier bit, which is the off-road section. Even at full chat, the Ranger Raptor diesel certainly does not feel like an unrefined thing. In fact, the diesel growl doesn't feel nearly as unrefined as you may expect from a lot of other diesel trucks. And now we come to our first challenge, which is a uphill climb. So here I will have to swap into the mud and ruts mode, and there are many modes to choose from. And I've been advised to stick the car in 4 low, which can be done on the fly. So I have to put this in neutral and 4x4 shift. Okay, stay in neutral. Okay, great. And now I can go back into drive and I can proceed with the climb. Clearly. So now, frankly, we tried. Okay, and now inadvertently we get to try the hill hold assist. So we've actually tried this truck earlier where we were able to do this climb just in 4-wheel drive high. That is how adept the all-terrain system is on this truck. And so as you can see, climbing up here, no problem at all. And now as we proceed through some slightly more difficult terrain, you can feel that although this is quite challenging, at least for people who are used to driving on roads like me, the Raptor seems to soak it up quite easily. The amazing thing I feel is that there are no sensations of sort of squeaking and rattling as the chassis moves about. It's very clear that the frame on this truck is very strong indeed. So now I've been advised to switch on the off-road cruise control, which I can set via the buttons here. One of these buttons set power. Where is it now? Where is the thing? Oh, there. Okay. Okay, so now I've set it at no. Okay. So now I just hit the throttle, hold the steering wheel, and keep straight. I have a spotter in front of me to let me know how I need to keep the wheel straight. Right. So right now I'm actually on quite a slope, which is allowing me to again see and feel just how this truck absolutely does not flex. That is something that all Rangers enjoy, and certainly the Raptor builds upon that very much. Now moving around here, of course in four-wheel drive low, progress is a little bit slower. But I'm amazed at just how little flex there is and just how few noises I'm hearing intruding into the cabin as I drive off-road. Now, for those of you who may want to test drive this truck over the weekend, you will find that this off-road course is available to you too. You'll have very well-trained instructors guiding you through every part of this course, so you'll never feel overly intimidated. And of course, the truck itself does a very good job at ensuring that you always feel secure and comfortable. So now we are about to enter the Baja section, where I'll be able to swap modes into one of these things. Does Baja, that's Baja, and I have to go into 4 high, which the car has to do in neutral again. 4x4 shift in progress, and all of this is done very seamlessly. In fact, you can swap between 2, 4 high and 4 automatic on the fly. But of course, in 4 low, you have to go into neutral. But we're in Baja mode, everything is set up the way it should, and now I've been told that I should floor it. So it certainly doesn't have the growl of the V6, but it gets up and goes. And despite the difficulty of this terrain, the truck manages to maintain its composure throughout. It's very clear that, again, this is a truck that's made not only to be tough, but it's also made to be fun. That's coming through very clear here. Of course, for 248,000 bucks, you'd expect the new Ranger Raptor Diesel to be fun, because that's what you expect from the Raptor nameplate, and that's what you expect for the amount of money that you're putting down. And it certainly seems like the Ranger Raptor delivers in spades. So now we have a side slope. So here I have to refer ever so slightly. Do I have to change the modes here? No, just remain. Okay. So once again, I've got a spotter and an instructor next to me to ensure that I don't tip the truck over. And so we're going on a rather steep slope where we'll be able to see just how far to one side this truck can go. Oh, I can go further left, nope, further right, and straight. Okay. And as you can see, because of this truck's fantastically low center of gravity, it means that I can handle slopes and terrain like this without even the slightest concern. This again will become very clear to those of you who come out here to the Meranti Technology Park in Bukit Jalil over the weekend to test drive either the new Ranger Raptor or indeed any of the other vehicles in the Ford lineup. The entire Ford lineup is available for you to test drive this weekend, including the new Ranger Raptor in petrol and diesel guises, so you'll be able to test it for yourself. As you can see, payload capacity in the Raptor hasn't really been affected that much. If I can stand here, then surely you can fit everything you really need, right? Now, the new Ranger Raptor Diesel comes in ever so slightly below the 3-litre V6 petrol at 248,888 ringgit repeat with a 5-year warranty. Although owners can specify an additional 2 years of coverage, making a total of 7 for a small additional outlay. Now, given the performance up front with this new diesel, we can also rest assured that there will be much better fuel economy in this, which means that your saving extends beyond retail and into your ownership experience. On top of that, buyers will also be able to enjoy select discounts on Ranger experiences, allowing you to connect with other Ranger enthusiasts across the country. So, is this the Ranger Raptor that you've been waiting for? Is this the one that has your heart? Or are you swayed by some of the other lifestyle pickup trucks currently available on the market? Let us know in the comment section below. In any case, that has been a very quick look at the new Ford Ranger Raptor 2-litre bi-turbo diesel. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell icon so every time we make a new upload. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. All the links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Take care, stay safe, and Baja mode!